Dear friends, today's lesson The Treasure Within, 8th class English, 4th unit, A reading. It is an interview of his contractor. I used to have this terrible nightmare. Only now, over last 4 to 5 years, it seems to have disappeared. He was telling about his school days. School days appeared like a terrible dream for him. Just when he left from the school hours, since 4 to 5 years, this fear has been disappeared. Then the reporter is asking him, "What nightmares are you talking about? Why do you think that it has disappeared now?" "I used to get continuous nightmares about appearing for a maths examination. At the time of maths examination, he was much afraid because he knew nothing about maths. But that fear has been got over. I don't have to think about education and there is absolutely no time to get nightmares. I am not afraid of these studies now because I am not going to school." "Tell us something about your earliest memories in school." So the reporter is asking about his experience in the school hours. "In the first and second year, I was a good student." He is saying that when I was in standard 1 and 2, I was somewhat good at studies. After I reached the third standard, I simply lost interest and I never studied. But it was from the third standard onwards, he lost interest in his studies. Listen, dear friends, we are talking about Hafiz contractor, who is a successful person. But when he was in school, he never studied at school. He never showed any interest in learning. In his school days, he was only interested to play games and make pranks. "I used to be interested in games," he is saying. "I was just interested in playing games only in school days. And what else? Playing jokes and making pranks, means making fun on others. At the time of examination, he just copied and passed the examination. I would try to get hold of the examination paper that had been prepared and studied. Just at the time of examination, I would open the book and I just read just the day before the exam starts. I could not remember things that had been taught to me in the class. I have no memory power. Whatever the things taught in the class, I would forget. Within 1 or 2 days, I would forget. However, later one sentence spoken to me by my principal changed my life. But during the school days, one day my principal spoke to me and that word has changed my life. When I approached my 11th standard, after 10th I went to 11th, the principal called me and said, "Look here, I have seen you since day 1. You are a good student, but you never studied. I have taken care of you till today. Now I can no longer take care of you. So you do it yourself." I have been observing you. You are not showing any interest in studies. So far I took care of you up to 10th class, and from here you have to do everything by yourself. He talked to me for 5 minutes. You don't have your father. So that principal told him, you have lost your father and only mother is taking care of you. She is the one who pays the fees by doing a lot of hard work. You have to remember and you concentrate on studies by yourself. I used to get a good sportsman. I used to be a very good sportsman. I had been the senior champion for so many years, and I also was a cricket captain. He was telling about his school days. He was very much interested in sports. He was even the captain of a cricket team, and their team were the champions for many years. I would go for prayers, and all I would do was eat and study. But when I was in 11th standard, when my principal told me about me lost my father and mother is taking care of me, that word has been changed my life. From that moment onwards, I was just praying and I eat and I study. I never went for games. I normally used to copy and pass, but I realized that once when I was in SSC, I could not do that. Till 9th class, I used to copy and pass the examination. But when I was in SSC, I was unable to copy. So I decided to study myself. Let us see the coming portion in tomorrow's session.